Greetings, Earthlings and humans and all other forms of life here today. The Nephilim, the, what are they called? Anunnaki, the Gabborim, the, I can't remember all their names there.
The woke left and woke right. I like
the
to
woke left,
them.
the woke right, the National Socialists, the Nationalists, the Socialists, the MAGAs, the I don't know who else you got. Mentally ill, schizos, disaffected, privileged billionaire class that likes Mondami. Devil worshippers, Satanists, the half-dead, the living dead, whoever's God sent you here to hear this show. I'm glad you're here. I hope you learned something. You should learn something because you're all whatever. But most of all, I like to welcome animals, the most genius of all living beings, because unlike the humans, animals do not need bullshit to feel the joy of life. Welcome to the Roseanne Barr podcast.
Oh, you see, my patience is growing thin.
You don't think Mondami fans listens to this show?
I don't think so, unless they're doing op research. No, I do not think. We don't have a big pro-Pali following. We have an anti-Israel following with the woke right nationalist Christians, Christians. Some of them. Most of them are on our side, but there's quite a few that are like, you killed our
I
Lord.
wish the Mondamis would listen in here.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
Me too.
It'd blow their fucking mind to see what's
insane.
real.
But if they listened, they wouldn't be fans of his, so there's your problem.
Well, they'd be like, oh, I don't care if they're fans of his or not, but they'd be on here going, oh my God, there's a whole other fucking world out there that I know nothing about, and something's brewing over there. I don't know. How many of them is there? Wait, let me check. Oh, thank God she only has 575,000 viewers and only 1,000 likes.
Yeah,
Thank
only
God
500
there's only
views.
1,000 people listening to her shit. Hey, do me a favor, would you, followers there? Can you pry your little finger from wherever it is presently and hit the like button to help me out? For God's sake, you don't do a damn thing. Can you hit the like button?
And
you
subscribe.
know?
And notify.
And notify, so you can find out when I'm up here next with God's honest truth that you need, and you're so damn stupid you don't even know it. I shouldn't have said you're stupid. You're brainwashed. Anyways, you know how I love to talk to geniuses, and I got one today, as I do every week, as I, love it. And this guy, he's real good, and he is a genius in many, many ways. And I found him myself over there on YouTube, where I'm always perusing because I can never sleep. And I'm always on there after my evening prayers with my mother, who's in the rest home there. And, she wants me to call and do the Jewish prayers with her morning and night, which I do. And then I go off on my computer looking for any Jewish people that have half a brain in their head. And not Mondami fans. His whole fans are Jewish. I don't know what the fuck lemming kind of bullshit they're living through. Well, I do know. It's all a bunch of Jewish guys that married anti-Semite women from Nebraska that hate Jews. And that's why their kids turn out loving Momdami, for fuck's sake. But anyways, that's the truth, too.
That is actually
I know they don't have no Jewish mother.
No, they definitely do not. No.
Anyways, I hope he wins, too, so they'll all get their asses kicked because they deserve it.
I'm kind of excited. Well, let's introduce our guest. But
anyway, I'm going to ask my guest for his opinion of this. Well, anyway, he's a genius, like I said. I saw him on YouTube's, and I'm like, damn. Just like I said to Tall, I told Tall that I prayed him into existence 30 years ago. Well, I think I prayed this guy into existence 31 years ago, since he's 30. He's a great presence on YouTube, a great Jew, an unusual Jew because he comes from basketball.
Yeah, he's an
How
athlete.
many Jews you know that play basketball?
There's 3.
A miracle right there. But a great podcaster and a great thinker, a genius. Help me welcome Barack, which means lightning, Barack
Swartz.
Swartz.
I can't say it either.
Wow.
We've been practicing all day.
Swartz.
Swartz.
You
But
got
not
that
Schwartz.
right.
I said it right.
You got that right.
Not Schwartz, for
not
God's
Schwartz,
sake.
and I'm
Oh,
very
hell
particular
no, you
about
made
that.
sure. Yeah, Swartz.
Swartz with two T.
With 2 T's, the only one in the world. Right?
That's right. B-A-R-A-K. That's
The
right.
other Barack.
The other Barack.
That's what your name of your
My handle.
site is.
My handle.
At the other Barack, right?
That was the greatest intro of all time on
I'm
any.
so glad to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here. You saw my my reaction when I finished washing my hands. I was like, "Is that really her?" I was like, "Yeah."
Well,
that's-
you were a
that's
little
really...
scared. You look to your left, which is an indication because I study the criminal. What do you call it when they do the body stuff?
We're already in it. I love it.
Or
No,
right
I always study
ahead.
the
Body
body
language.
reactions. Yeah, body reactions of criminal profiling, which I love.
Yeah.
But so you came out, froze, your arms went up, and you looked to your left. It was a WTF kind of a look.
Does that
I
mean
thought
he's a
I'd
criminal?
shock you, huh?
Does that mean he's a criminal? Or
No, it means shock and looking for reality when you look to your left.
Shock and looking for reality
Yeah.
and not comprehending that this is really happening for me because I'm just that basketball guy. So
Yeah.
that was my reaction.
I think the red wig. Oh,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it's a wig. I had my hair done and dyed, just for you.
I think it's the well. Thank you. That was very sweet of you. I think it's the presence of greatness for me. I don't get to be in rooms like this that often, or houses, or kitchens. So that was the presence of greatness
Well, thank
being
you.
exuded. So
Thank you so much. You like me with red hair?
red, purple, yellow. As long as it's not a Kafia Karen hairstyle, then I think we're good.
I should do that sometime.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so here you are, a basketball guy. How tall are you?
6'1" on a good day.
Well, that's not that unusual for a Jew, 6'1",
point
right?
guard, shooting guard?
Point guard, shooting guard.
Yeah, it's-
Does that mean anything to you? Point guard, shooting guard.
I don't know. Who does that?
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Oh, my boys love Steph Curry.
The guy who-
Kobe was a shooting guard.
Kobe was a shooting guard. Yeah,
I thought
Kobe
he was 6'6". So
Kobe did a lot of
Kobe.
different.
Yeah.
The,
they
guy-
love
the,
Kobe, too.
the guy who dribbles up the court, who has the balls, commanding the team, calling out the
quarterback.
plays, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
The point guard.
Oh, so you really know your basketball.
The 6'1" Jewish Ashkenazi genes didn't get me to the NBA, but the IQ was pretty good.
So you know a lot about, how to get in and out, get that ball down there,
Gotta-
go around the other team and, move it in and out.
You
Kind
sound
of
like
lawyer your way down the
should coach
fucking
in the
middle.
NBA.
sounds like
Right.
my coach.
I'm laughing because remember Buck's Little League games? He'd be
What?
like, my little brother was
his
playing
brother.
baseball and
They
they were
called
losing.
him 3-point Buck.
But
He
she
was
would,
good.
always, she would always say, whenever anyone came up to bat in our team, she'd go, "Hit the ball and run." That was her
Because they were
coaching.
idiots, and they give them all a trophy, and like if this was at softball,
Yeah.
because they had libtard moms in our town, second wives, and so
Mom brownies.
the kid would swing and miss, and they'd all go, "Good try," and it made me sick because I'm not a commie, so I'd go, "You need to practice your aim."
That's right.
And
That's
they
damn
get
right.
mad. They'd look at me like, "What kind of a fascist are you?" I go, "You don't get applause when you miss." They go, "Oh my God, you're a horrible woman." So they banned me, and my son goes, "Please shut up at my games." I go, "No, I'm not, because I'm not a communist."
I'm so happy you just said that because I got this from an entrepreneur, an individual who I've gained a lot of inspiration from over the past 8 years. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he has this concept of there's no bronze medals in life.
Yeah.
Right, you
The
either
fuck do you
win or
mean
lose.
good swing, good miss? And it's so interesting because we're already talking about basketball. So my parents would come to as many of the games growing up. Travel league, local league. Sometimes I'm from the greater Boston area. We'd have to go to Connecticut, New Hampshire. So they would make these drives out. We'd have 4 other players in the car, grab breakfast, go. And they were not those crazy parents who are coaching their kid from the stands.
Yeah.
Those are the worst
Yeah, they
parents.
are.
Yeah.
The worst.
Well, I
you were
guess I was
destroying
like
your
that.
child. No, but there's a difference between next time you get him, hon. It's that's the last thing I ever wanted to hear. And
Yeah.
they did a really good job of never intervening. They were there. I could feel their presence, which is
Yeah.
important as a kid.
Yeah.
Because you want to see Iman, Abba, mom, and dad. But they played their role really well. And I don't see a lot of parents doing that.
No, we
see a
got
lot of
thrown
parents
out.
doing what you just described
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
good swing, Thomas. It's not going to work.
No.
You're not building that kid's resilience
No.
at all.
No, we heckle.
Good.
I'm going to heckle my kids in Little League. You suck. Really.
Well, I
come on.
did. I used to do that to all the other kids.
I mean, you got to be hard on. I mean, I'm not a father,
Yeah.
nor do I have any kids on the way, so I don't know. But I'm assuming like you got to be hard on them. You gotta
Absolutely.
like.
Well, you have to put in the time to take them to practice every day. If you want them to be good, they got to practice every day. And I'd say things like, well, why I got kicked out. Hey, what? Because I hated the moms. And, I took advantage of being famous and I drank too much. That's unspoken. But then I'd go, hey, why don't you get your one of your boyfriends to drop your kid off for practice sometimes? I'd say horrible stuff.
I have my computer here with me. I would love to play. It's like a 20-30 second clip of when.
Well, I want to get to then you go, and then you become a coach of
Oh, yes.
basketball.
Sorry, I
but then
skipped.
then you go play basketball for Israel, right?
So I started. I'm from Newton, which is a suburb. It's a city actually of Boston. Both of my parents come from the rabbinical background. When I was 6 in 2001, my dad had a program to study with 20 rabbis from across the world in Jerusalem. So at
Cool.
6 years old, 2001, little Barak with his big brother and 2 parents go to this place called Israel. I was so against this idea of going to like, the fuck is Israel? I'm 6 years old.
Yeah.
Want to play catch with my brother in the street. 2001 to 2003 was the peak of the second intifada, especially in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
So this 6-year-old kid goes to Israel, lives in Jerusalem. A car bomb went off on my street when I was walking to school with my brother one morning.
Sheesh.
I got like quickly traumatized as a kid. But we lived in Israel 6, 7, and 8, which from a fundamental standpoint growing up, those are the biggest years of a child's development that have a very big imprint on who they are from a personality standpoint and a lot of the things, their traits. So I actually got it in the fundamental years of my childhood, which is no surprise because later I go back to the States, picked up a basketball when I was that kid in Israel, pursued an NBA dream, learned early on, like I said, that these Jewish Ashkenazi genes were not taking me to the NBA.
Yeah.
I had a lot of injuries during my high school and college careers, studied marketing, went to 2 universities. It was all bullshit. I got like exposed really early to like what was going on with the education system in America. And I was like pretty aware of it early on. And I was like, why am I filling out job applications on LinkedIn Job Navigator and Indeed and like monster.com and just holding my breath? Like this isn't working. And then I realized like my heart from those 2 years living in Israel really is in Israel. And now I'm 30. I was injured most of my career. So after high school and college, I kind of hung up the shoes, went to Israel, started training athletes. I was working for Maccabi Tel Aviv, which is like the largest premier club in Israel, hosted many NBA players, now one of which is a star player in the NBA, Deni Avdia.
He was Jewish?
He's Israeli, yeah.
Oh, he made the NBA?
He was the ninth pick. He was the 9th pick, I believe, in the 2020 draft. Now, when I came into Israel in 2019, I was a strength and conditioning coach with Maccabi Tel Aviv. We had Deni Avdia, Omri Caspi, well-known former Israeli. You're nodding your head. I would have thought you would know Omri. No. And Amari Stoudemire.
I know Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire played for Jerusalem. He's also like, he converted to Judaism and is a devout supporter, not just of Israel, but also he's religious. Like he has kippah, he has a payas tzitzit, like he has everything going on. Yeah. He's very biblical. So Amari was there with us too. And Amari is a top 100 NBA player of all time. Mm-hmm. Easy.
That's great.
Yeah. So I got exposed to like these high caliber people as this intern. And then one thing led to the next, got stuck in COVID and then got an offer from another team in Israel. I stayed there for 4 years. And then, so that was my life. My life was the basketball liaison guy between America and Israel, trying to bring people over and sort of do this like, not behind the scenes, but like give an opportunity to talk about this place called Israel to these basketball players. A lot of them don't go to the NBA, so they look to play overseas. It's a massive market. Yeah. Massive market. And you can have a really good life. Mm-hmm. In Israel.
Buck's friend, what's his name?
Jovan.
Jovan, yeah. He plays in like Czech Republic or something, yeah.
Great place to play basketball.
Yeah, that's where he started. And he tried to make it a go for whoever the team is in LA. Who is
Lakers.
that team?
Yeah, he tried. He didn't make it.
But he's great.
He's very talented. Yeah, he has a great life. He's a professional.
They have amazing lives.
Yeah,
bring your family over overseas. Yeah. It's a little bit difficult because you because of the business you can be you're moving a lot. So unless you have that stability with the team, which is it can happen, but it's not as common. You'll go from Israel to Greece to Lithuania to all these places, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because you don't have you're like a nomad.
Yeah.
But that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
So then what takes you into
Fighting Hamas.
yeah.
I was in Israel on the 7th of October.
You were there?
I was there. Yep. I live in Tel Aviv. So, the story's been told many, many times of what that morning was like. So there's really no need to go into it. But basically, I don't have any family in Israel. So I felt pretty unsafe.
Yeah.
On the 10th of October, I found one of the last flights out of Israel. And we were delayed, by the way, on the runway because of rocket fire and everything. It was insane. So I flew back to the States, and I couldn't stop thinking about what just transpired in Israel. One of my friends who I was planning on getting coffee with, he was actually killed at the Nova Festival. So I had every reason to not really be thinking about basketball and fitness, and my heart and soul was just so stuck on what just happened. And I was I didn't serve in the army when I made Aliyah. The army never called me to serve. So I have had a lot of survivor's guilt, especially when I first moved to Israel. My friends go into Gaza, my friends go into Lebanon, and I'm just sitting in my apartment. So I felt like I was called to contribute to the conversation the best way that I could, wearing this invisible army uniform, being a basketball coach whose, by the way, best friends are all non-Jews, all African-American. My best friends their families come from Haiti, Nigeria, and Jamaica. I've grown up. Also, those 2 years when we lived in Israel, I grew up with Arab Bedouin children building the medical facilities in the desert because they had dirty drinking water.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff came from my parents who are rabbis. So I've always been built to be around different groups of people and embracing diversity. That's kind of who I am. And I was what a perfect person to be to talk about this conflict and not really get into the politics of it, but more storytelling. That's what got me into changing my content on YouTube quickly to talking about Israel. One thing led to the next. My 4th video went pretty viral relative to the size of my channel. And as you know, once one thing works, you just do it again and again and again and again. And
Because it's a needed voice in the void. It isn't so political, and it's more
human.
It's more human.
Yeah. And that's why I love this concept of basketball being at the forefront of who I am, and also how I deploy a lot of the conversations that I try to carry. I also kind of use it practically when I'm going around speaking and trying to bring in non-Jewish communities to learn about Israel. So I use basketball and training athletes as a way to create a safe space. They see me as a coach, not like Barak, this Israeli. Right. And once they see you, it's psychology. Once somebody feels safe with you, and once you've created a safe space to talk about something so polarizing, you can go into maybe some of the semantics and some of the more heavy stuff. But the fact that I don't come from a deep geopolitical background, at first I thought was a huge liability. Now that I've gained a lot of that knowledge myself, it's actually been incredibly powerful, because one, I didn't serve in the army, and a lot of people are willing to talk to me since I didn't serve in the army, which is crazy. Yeah. You're right. You weren't in the IOF, the Israeli Occupation Forces. You weren't an IOF officer sniping children. So one, that allows me some conversation. And two, I'm just a coach. And basketball is culture. It's music. It's art. It's food. It's travel. It's just a pillar of culture. And I think
it's a team sport too.
It's a team sport.
And speaking in generalities, that group that plays basketball, I'll be very careful how I say this. They don't seem to be the most Jew-friendly bunch, shall we say. So do you find it's an easy conversation to get into once that trust is there, or is it something you have to kind of walk on eggshells?
That's such a good question.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a good question. I'll tell you.
Isn't he smart, my son?
Thank you.
Fucking, makes sense,
He
right?
weighed 10 pounds at birth.
Yeah.
I thought he'd always be troublesome. But he's great.
Thank you.
Are you into numerology at all?
Hello?
I didn't know how much. I was born on May 8th, 8 pounds, 8 ounces.
Wow.
Just letting you know. Eight is a number 13, that may resurface during this conversation.
Okay, well,
I don't
8's
know.
a good number.
8's a very good number. It's also, obviously, as we all know, the infinity sign on its side.
Absolutely.
And I'll show you guys something on the side later.
Okay.
But I love that question.
Yeah.
So, first of all,
Blacks hate Jews. Let's just be
That's
real.
what I'm asking.
That's what he means.
Well, I mean, they're probably open to having their mind changed, but it's not like that's an influence they get a lot.
A lot of Christian black people likes the Jews.
I was just in.
Christians.
Oh yeah. Oh my! I mean,
They love
tremendously.
us,
I was
yeah.
just in South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, they love the Jews.
Incredible amount
That's
of
where I'm
support.
going if all this shit hits a fan.
South Africa.
Hell yeah, there's a lot of Jews going there.
Yeah,
My
they love white
grandpa
people
went there when he escaped the Tsar.
Johannesburg.
Uh-huh.
And
He loved it.
really,
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends now in Tel Aviv who've left.
They
And
go
they're-
there.
It's probably good for them to see an actual apartheid state instead of being accused of it all the time.
Well, it's not apartheid no more.
I know, but please
Yeah.
continue.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
You're
No, no, no.
talking, You're talking to the brothers. How's that go?
No, this is good. I love this. Look, first of all, anything revolving, I call it the I word. Israel's become the I word now. People
Yeah.
cringe.
Yeah.
Anything around that word immediately kind of creates a little bit of hostility. I'll be honest with you. And I
Yeah,
see
no.
it and I feel it. We all know that.
We read our comment section.
You
We
read your
know.
comments.
Yeah.
I as human as I can try to be,
Yeah.
you still get the I label.
Yeah.
However,
Or the Z label.
or the Z,
Or the K.
what are the letters we got?
All of them.
all 26, right.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example of a clinic I did in Hamilton, Canada, which is 45 minutes outside of Toronto. I think you guys will find this interesting.
Okay.
So I told you before that I think my best way to do the advocacy for non-Jewish communities, especially ones that are maybe coming from multicultural, multi-ethnic backgrounds, is to use basketball as that door to open it up so I don't experience what you're asking.
Yeah.
Now, because I come from the strength and conditioning background, I asked a Hebrew academy in Hamilton to bring in a basketball team from the area, non-Jews, and have never met an Israeli before. And they brought in this basketball team. It's like 10 to 12 players called Liberty for Youth, all in their 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. All of them have been arrested before, police brutality, gun violence, getting in trouble at school, all of them. And this basketball team in Hamilton, and they actually might be from Toronto, it doesn't matter, it's the area, takes them off the street, brings them into basketball
That's
programming
awesome.
to teach them about camaraderie and discipline and teamwork and community.
Yeah.
And you
And
see
focus.
and focus.
Yeah.
And weaving and passing by and all that. So
Being Jewish, that's what it is.
being the light.
Basketball is being Jewish.
I love that. I love that.
I'll have to think about that one.
We brought them in,
yeah.
and 50 religious Jewish day students who have now been in the gym with these 10 to 12 athletes who have never met a Jew and definitely never met an Israeli. And I brought them in, and I made all of the players on Liberty for Youth be the team captains as I split them up into 10 teams and have all of the Hebrew Academy students be on their team. So first, I just made it very equal playing field here. And I trained them for 45 minutes, put them through like workouts that I would do with Denny and Amari and Omri, and I'm giving them like a little bit of like what an NBA warm-up is like. Giving them fun and giving them Coach Barak. And then after that, I sat down with them at the half-court line in a big circle, and I sit with them on the court like I'm sitting with you now, and I talk to them about Israel. Like I talk to them about my life. I talk to them about what the situation is. And I actually bring with me, which I have here, I'll show you guys later, I bring with me some proof and evidence of like what this existential threat is that Israel's under. Yeah. The coach of the basketball team and the players came up to me after I spoke to them, and they were like, as a result of your visit today, you have completely changed our perspective on the Middle East and what Israel's going through.
Isn't that great? What some truth will do.
Yeah, truth is pretty awesome.
And it's so fucking hard to get to what I just got to with you.
Yeah.
Because I had to obviously go through loopholes of trying to get the teams and finding it. But that's Barak on like a really small scale. On YouTube.
But that is the power of sports.
Mm-hmm.
The power of good, being a good, what do you call it? A good sport.
Good sport. And, they didn't look at me as like this Israeli coming to talk to us about, Gaza.
Yeah.
Because if you lead with that, that's where things, to the second part to your question,
Yeah.
I find most of it really hard.
Yeah. I would imagine.
And the reason I think that, and that's me being honest with both of you, and honestly, I'd be lying to the listeners and you if I said differently, and that's because we haven't cracked the code yet on how to find a way to do this where it's not that.
Right.
I think the code is to bypass all the political propaganda.
Yeah.
And I think you did it right. Let's just be human and play this game. Just be human. But, they don't like to think of the Jews as human. But
That's right.
anyway, how was the game?
That's right.
How did the game go?
They had so much fun, and they were competing, and like I have a lot of energy, so like I have to show them too what the expectations are. So I'm clapping and I'm cheering and And it's just like, and that wasn't, my expectation isn't like, okay, when are these guys going to come over and tell me that Barack changed their mind about Israel? Because I actually think that what I accomplished that day is not the norm. You can't expect to in 90 minutes to change somebody's opinion on something.
Yeah.
Like this is a slow cooked process, especially for somebody who's been watching, TikTok videos of girls under buildings for 12 months, in limbs.
You have to brainwash, crack them, or whatever that word is.
Undo it.
Yeah.
Deprogram.
You have to
You have to
deprogram
deprogram.
before you
And
talk
that doesn't
to them.
happen in 90 minutes.
No, it doesn't usually happen ever.
And what
Ever.
makes it worse is seeing all these blowhards. I mean, these blowhard people going on piers more. Well, I shouldn't say that. But, you know.
No, you can.
I mean, a lot of the Jewish side are just nothing but blowhards.
Yeah.
I just want to get up there and start slapping the shit out of them. Of course, people can't understand what you're saying. And 1920, who gives a shit?
No one cares.
Just make it human.
You know who needs to go on Piers Morgan? Tall. And you know why Tall needs to go on Piers Morgan?
I try so hard to get him on there,
He won't,
but they
won't
don't
have
want
him.
any brown Jews on there
Thank
because
you.
that blows their narrative
It
apart.
blows it up.
They only want they only want a certain kind of Jew to speak, the one that's despicable and says. And then in 1946, the Congress of they just
Yeah, they don't care.
it's stuff that you can't feel.
Tall's also great too. If you watch
We
his
love
videos,
Tall.
he always comes from love, and even when he's
Yeah.
arguing with like a Nazi online, like he holds his ground, and I've seen him turn quite a few like Nazis
Well,
in
you
short
can't
videos.
do that academic horse
He
shit.
doesn't.
People
Well,
don't give a damn.
He knows his information, so he can cite it.
Well, because he's lived it. His
Yeah.
family lived it.
That's exactly why he needs to go on. He's not. His grandmother got kicked out of Iraq during
Yeah.
the Farhud.
Yeah.
and
We've
his
had him on here.
Yeah,
More
no, I know
Jews
that.
were
No, so I'm-
kicked out of Arab countries than Arabs were kicked out of Israel.
Israel,
But
yeah.
they won't let that be said.
No, they won't. Also,
And-
Tall doesn't look like me, and I fit the narrative for being a European white colonizer, which is
Yeah.
why they won't let Tall on.
Yeah.
It disrupts the whole thing.
Yeah.
I know
You
when
know?
you see him all brown and dark, and he said, "It's your favorite white colonizer."
Yeah, it's like
I mean,
love it.
but most of Israel is brown, and they don't want
The far
that
majority
said.
are
Brown
not
and
like
black.
me. The far majority are not like me.
I know, but they don't want that said because then it becomes a people's revolution of color, and they hate that because that don't fit their narrative either.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Piers knows it too, by the way.
Yeah,
he
that's-
knows.
I think
He
so.
knows that he can't have Tall on.
Yeah,
He knows that.
I think so too.
I've been asking him to get Tall on or a brown Jew from the Middle East.
Yeah.
But no, he'd rather have Chunk.
Does he
that
give you-
fat fuck.
Does he give you a reason as to why you wouldn't want to have someone like him on?
He don't need to. Just the no responses.
I see.
Well, why don't you get a Middle Eastern Jew on there? Well, because we don't like truth. We're leftists. We hate the truth.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the service of truth, and it gets uglier every day.
Yeah.
Every day in America, just like those black kids, they were targeted for that.
Yeah.
All the minority populations in America are targeted for it because divide and conquer. And it's so successful here. And then they haul out these lame guys that just talk about certain dates and law that nobody gives a damn about. They don't talk about the human cost.
You're right.
And they don't want that said. And but the other side, that's all they talk about without law.
Right.
So it's a definite division.
They're really good at telling stories.
Yeah.
And I was starting very early on to call a lot of the people that I'm trying to speak to. By the way, I've tried to use basketball as a way to get out of the echo chamber because we have this issue internally within the Jewish, let's call it pro-Israel community, that like all of our audiences kind of overlap, and it's not really threading the needle.
Right.
No.
And that's why I see
I agree.
basketball being a good way to maybe, try and breach that. But the people that I'm trying to speak with, just like you were saying in the beginning of this podcast, like, can we have Mamdani's audience on here? I actually think that's the best thing,
I do
like,
too.
is to speak to those people because they're overly emotional and underly informed.
Yeah.
That's who these people
Which is
are.
why they're overly emotional.
Yeah.
Correct.
'cause you're correct. Very true.
Bingo.
Yeah, because if you know your shit, you're not overly emotional. You know not to get triggered because you know fact. If you don't know fact, everything's triggering.
Yeah.
Their
That's a
whole
really good
role
point.
is to silence fact
Yeah.
with huge emotion and guns or knives or violence. Violence is how you really shut down fact.
That's
and
right.
like I said, two things fascists hate. One is humor, and two is dialogue.
Mm.
And, you know, if people would understand that, we would go a long way. Fact is absolutely holy. That's what Judaism teaches. All fact, that's how the world works. And when you shut that down, you're just sending it into darkness.
It's so interesting because, like, the ones that are at these protests calling me a fascist, who I agree with you, by the way, that not wanting to have dialogue is absolutely a character trait of a fascist.
Yeah.
They're all the ones who wear masks, who are told to turn away.
Yeah.
And it's like the fact that there's no, like, I still haven't even been able to find a way to get them to recognize why it's important to take a little bit of accountability.
Oh, they don't want
It
none of
bothers me.
that.
Yeah,
They don't
It
want
bothers me a lot. 'cause
They
they're-
were only following orders. That's the whole thing of Nazism. There is no accountability ever, which is what Nuremberg was about. Oh, there is ultimate accountability by law. Because our side likes law, theirs doesn't. They invent law, fake law. But, you know, they're really trying to change the definition of genocide. That's
Yeah.
what they're busy working at, so that it only applies to
to Israel.
But I mean, they're just so off. They're so fascist. And so is the pact that they made with Hitler, and nobody examines that either. But to see it spread across America now on the conservative side is just horrible.
It's terrible.
It's just terrible.
It's also, but it shouldn't be a surprise. Look, like in the 1930s, like when the Irgun was forming together and even also starting to fight off forces, like the New York Times would write about that. The New York Times would write about like how like awful this is and that they classified them as a terrorist organization. Why are we surprised when today the New York Times put out a picture of a girl or a boy starving who was really actually suffering from a disease and was sent to Italy by Israel to go get help?
Yeah, they always leave that part
They
out.
always leave that part out, and it's like this has been systematically planned for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
for a very long
And then we're
time.
sitting here right now on the morning or the afternoon right before the eve of Rosh Hashanah, and the UN is assembling today.
yeah,
vote for
to
Palestine.
vote for a
For a
Palestinian
And you know
state.
that it's going to pass or whatever. It's
It
gonna-
already, they
Yeah.
all of Europe. I
Make-
mean,
yeah.
the same characters.
It's a great
But
message
they
to
always,
send.
the other thing they do is always obscure the agent, obscure the locos. And what they like to do is blame the victim. I mean, their whole philosophy is based on blame the victim, where the greatest illustration of that is that Israeli women are the only rape victims in the world ever since the founding of the UN and all their bullshit things, that are not allowed to bring the complaint of rape before
fucking nuts.
international courts.
It's insane.
I mean, that just says it all.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Jews are not allowed by international law to pray at their holiest sites. They overlooked that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then people are like, well, it's just corrupt. And like the fact of it is, I hope they do vote for a Palestinian state because number one, that's proof that the UN is corrupted beyond all redemption. It can never be redeemed.
Which we already know, but now you
Which
have proof.
we
yeah,
already
it's proof
know.
to
Yeah, because if you reward people for a terrorist attack, that's just bad messaging. That's about as bad as it gets. Like, hey.
Well, that's like going, wow, those women asked for it.
Yeah.
They were showing their hair and they were voting
Yeah.
and they were wearing real short skirts.
Yeah.
I mean, they asked for it.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Mhm.
And all the feminist, I just call them lesbian witches because that is what they are when they're against women's rights. Here in the West, and they're corrupted beyond redemption.
It's also building a pretty substantial model for other extremist groups to be able to say, wow, maybe we should do this shit too.
Yeah. We're gonna
Like
fucking
that's
stand
that's
out
what
That is
today's that's what
exactly-
today is basically going to
Yeah.
confirm.
Uh-huh.
For all the people who have started to draw up their October 7th, which we all know what started back when Sinwar was released, and he's like, guys, let's do this. So like we're teeing up
Yeah.
the next of whatever that may look like. I you know, not necessarily just against the state of Israel, but you know, if you ask me, like if you look at what their movement has done, and it's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
It is brilliant.
Really is so brilliant what
Yeah.
they accomplished.
Right.
And that we're having this conversation today
Yeah.
about how brilliant it is.
It is brilliant.
Like, isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Well, it's how the left got
Go
power
rape
in
people and
America.
blow them up
Yeah.
and attack them, attack a sovereign nation, which is against the international
crime,
law. It's a
and they-
war crime. And then, they, instead of putting their children in the tunnels that we all, our tax money went to, they put them right out front where the bombs will come back in the attack. And then they go, they killed our children. Why didn't you put them in the tunnels?
Well,
if you
they were
cared
too
about
busy
them.
putting their wives in with their Birkin bags. Remember that clip video where she's sneaking out?
Yeah.
$30,000 handbag.
Israel killing the children. Well, why are they not in the tunnels then?
Yeah.
Here's a nice
you
little
gave a damn
nice
about
little
'em.
test that you can do. I have a
Which that's a lie too, because Israel built corridors of safety to move the population south before they bombed the shit out of them.
my friends literally were part of one of the humanitarian corridors that they created.
And they also not only made the humanitarian corridors to move the women and children out of the war zone, Israel liberated too the food being held hostage by the criminal communist UN and the criminal communist Hamas and gave it to the people who escaped, which I said nobody has really looked at that. The fact that the women of and their children, grandmothers and women of Gaza chose to trust Israel and leave behind an ideology that held them as second and third class citizens and go towards the light of freedom of Israel where women do have rights. And that's all ignored too. But that was really a major miracle because Gazans are the only people who are not allowed, refugees, who are not allowed by law of Egypt and Jordan to leave an active war zone. There's never before been a refugee population not allowed to leave because every death is a plus for Egypt and Jordan and
Hamas.
Iran and all the others. So they can just go, look who Israel killed.
Well, also-
if they gave a damn about them, they would allow them to leave like all other refugees are allowed. They're hostages of the UN.
Well, also, Egypt built this entire wall with the huge wall with what's barbed wire. And people ask them, why don't you let the refugees in? They go, we have the same problem that Israel has. They tunnel in and they kill us.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just to keep them there to be, cannon fodder. They also
I
don't
think
want
it
them in.
is.
Well, it's probably a little bit of both, but they also don't want to be terrorist attacked in the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit
Hamas.
it's a little bit of both,
Yeah.
but they actually understand.
Well, they've been tortured by the UN for all these years and by Egypt and by Jordan. Their children have been tortured, which is what the Nazis did and what they did here with mind control
Yep.
to create assassins. That's what MK Ultra mind control is, to torture children until they become assassins.
Yep.
And child soldiers, which is another 2 or 3 war crimes.
Yeah.
They're stripping all these kids away from having they pick up toy guns at 5 or 6 years old and during recess go outside to shooting practice and shoot like religious looking figures, white Ashkenazi Jews with the flag of Israel on the entrance to their school to stomp and spit on it. And this is what do you think that 4-year-old's gonna think and want to do later in life? A really simple exercise you can do, because it's like the genocide word now, as you said, they're trying to redefine it. Like the UN is saying that Israel has destroyed 92 to 93% of the homes inside of the Gaza Strip, the buildings. If that's the case, if 93% of the homes have been destroyed, why hasn't the population decreased by 93%?
Yeah.
People stay.
Or not increased. Why has it not increased? Or why has it increased?
Why has it increased?
Yeah.
It's increased
People stay inside of-
400%.
The population of the Gaza Strip in 1948 was around 80,000. And the population of the Gaza Strip today is over 2 million. The population of Jews who lived in Muslim countries within the Middle Eastern region in 1948 was estimated to be 1 million.
Yeah.
And the population in those Muslim countries today in 2025 has estimates between 10 and 15,000.
Yeah.
It's a complete inverse relationship.
Yeah, they invert the truth.
That's what Satan does.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
It
Right.
is.
And so the other like piece, and even when you throw, this isn't coming from like the pro-Israel perspective. This is me just thinking like, if there's a genocide being committed, then why are the people inside the buildings not dying? Like, please, where are they going? Where else are they going? And there's many reasons for knowing why they're not being killed. And there's a lot of, it's called precaution. There's a lot of mitigation attempts before Israel carries out a strike in order to limit civilian casualty. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, you can be pro-Israel, you can be anti-Israel, you can be pro-Palestinian. It doesn't matter. The facts just show that that's not happening. I came across a YouTuber. This blew my mind. YouTuber. His name is Yusuf. I'll get you his name after. 4 weeks ago, I'm scrolling on YouTube, and I see a thumbnail for a kid inside the Gaza Strip, and the thumbnail says something like a day in the life, like a day in the life during the war, like come with me during the war. This kid vlogged his morning going to the market.
Yeah, I saw it.
To buy canned macaroni, diced tomatoes, and meat, and showed like what that was like, and then came back and showed the prices of it, and I'm committing a genocide. And he just vlogged his day on YouTube of what it's like to go buy macaroni. Yeah. I spoke to a woman from Gaza. She didn't allow me to record the conversation. I spoke to her a week and a half ago and out before I came back to Israel. And they're not being starved.
Of course not.
I asked her, like give me the truth. And the thing about my Instagram strategy sometimes is I'll actually throw the pro-Palestine flag on my posts. And the reason, and by the way, it's actually stirred up some confusion amongst the Israeli community because some people don't necessarily know what side I'm on all the time. And the reason I do that is to step out of the algorithmic echo chamber to try and reach a new audience. There are Gazans who follow me, write to me, and like message me and call me all the time. Gazans inside of the Gaza Strip. And of course I'm not allowed to record that conversation. Yeah. You know?
Well, their lives are at risk. I went there a long time ago when I first went there, and I had a prayer group of Christian, Jew, and Muslim women. And I found out for myself what was going on. I found out that we were friends, you know. It wasn't basketball, but it was prayer, which really works.
Arguably better.
Better than basketball, at least for older women. and I was told that, you know who digs them tunnels? Children, which is another war crime. Or your family doesn't get food. And I said, yeah, I'll talk about it. I will. Because, you know, I'm always looking to get in trouble. Because I love the truth. Because the truth does set you free.
Wow.
And so I've continued and kept my hand in stirring the pot because, yeah, I do believe that the children of this world deserve truth. And there's nothing else that can save them. A bunch of propaganda and lies from anybody isn't going to save any kids. Mm-mm. It's going to enslave them further, the lies. So, you know, people's stories from wherever they come from of their suffering and their fight against it, there's nothing better that feeds the human soul than to see the bravery of any people against the huge empire of lies that oppresses all of us. And every people everywhere have, well, all our leaders are nothing but liars, nothing but dirty liars. And so we're all, from our own little perches, facing the same thing. Maybe we should all have basketball games and prayer circles. What else?
To solve Israel-Palestine.
To solve everything. Certainly not the UN. They should turn that into a great big basketball court with prayer circles on the side. Really?
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
But, yeah, when I saw you, I loved you. I love a lot of, what are y'all, the Generation X, Y, Z? I don't know what you are. But you have a very different perspective than us old folk. And it's much more synthesized with it just seems to have all of reality synthesized into it rather than something you learn from somebody else. It's physical, it's intellectual, and it's also spiritual. You guys have a unique way of seeing and experiencing life in the world, which I sort of see it's kind of an evolution from my generation to my children's generation to their children's generation. And you're kind of in there with my youngest son, that generation. They experience fact and life differently than I think any generation before them.
Well, I think your generation and below is under an intense amount of propaganda, more so than any other generation's ever faced when you factor in social media and TikTok and schools.
Yeah,
and
that changes
the
everything.
communist infiltration of school. I mean, TV, like it's all indoctrination. It's all mind control all the time. We probably got a break from that in our generations. But there's no break. There's no respite for this generation down below. You're under mind control 24/7. There's no way.
That's
There's no
why
escape.
Charlie Kirk was great, because he was really,
Which is why they
he
killed
was
him.
taking on the mind control
He
head
was.
on the campuses where it's concentrated.
Yeah.
And they started doing that probably 30, 40 years ago. When
Yeah.
I became an activist, I saw the root of it and how they did it.
Well, it's the same thing that Hamas, like you talk about this brilliant plan now. What they did is they infiltrated a long time ago, so they'd have control of the media centers, they'd have control of social media, they'd have control of the narrative, and then
Yeah.
they enacted their plan.
I met a exactly.
Yeah.
This didn't happen. I mean, they
knew
to
this
pull
was-
this
yeah.
off. That's why I say it's brilliant, because
Yeah,
there was
it is
also a risk
brilliant.
associated
Yeah.
with like what's going to happen. They had all of their pieces in place to be able
Yeah.
to do exactly what they've been doing. I met
Well,
a
it's kind of a typical
What communists do.
KGB
Yeah.
color revolution too, because they did the same thing in Russia.
100%.
And they really studied it, and so did the Nazis, how to gain control of mass mind control.
It's brilliant. I met a girl in Israel a month ago. She was studying in 2016. You mentioned Berkeley, so she was at Berkeley. This is 9 years ago, possibly in the stage 1 of like October 7th, like planning execution. She was telling me that her professors at Berkeley in 2016 were already talking about the open air prison
Yeah.
across the ocean, and that Israel is the reason for all of the problems within the Middle East. This is 2016, just like a girl at Berkeley. So
Yeah.
no wonder it worked.
Of course.
No wonder it worked. It's so, we were talking before we started recording, but like the premeditated planning, like for October 7th to happen that morning when I was there. And then like by the time I'm starting to look at my flights, I'm already seeing branded banners with logos and merchandise of like all of the pro-Palestinian camps from like east
Right.
to west coast that you don't get your fourth wall gear in 3 hours
And
shipped
all the
and
tents
printed.
were the same.
Yeah,
All
it
the
was
tents were the
waiting.
same.
It-
Yeah.
yeah,
We
that
talked
takes
about that.
months
Yeah.
And
to print.
It doesn't happen.
probably
and
more.
organized.
Yeah, probably more.
It's not organic.
It's not
We all
organic.
know it. Everyone feels, even the people against us
It
know
isn't
it.
a people's grassroots revolution.
We saw it after Charlie got killed.
Yep.
I opened up X 35 minutes after, and I already
too.
saw the
Israel
first
did
one.
it.
Israel did it.
Yeah.
That's not a trigger reaction after you get the news he got killed. It's just not. And
It's manufactured.
it's my God.
Yes.
It's
That's
crazy.
all we've been saying. And that's why our algorithm drops and we get less and less views. We're not in the
That's
narrative.
manufactured too.
Yeah.
But it's clearly manufactured. It's clear. You know, Ian Carroll, the one that everyone hates, we had him
He
here.
looks just like the sniper, though. I told Jake, look at Ian
He
Carroll
does.
looks just like
She wants me to
Tyler. What's
compare
his
their head
ass?
shapes of their
And
phrenology.
Tyler
Throw it on the
said my
screen.
doppelganger did it. I go, fucking Ian Carroll killed him.
That's crazy.
No, look at it.
I that's crazy.
But hold on.
That's wild.
Ian, a lot of people don't know this because it wasn't on tape. But Ian and I and my mother, like how you're a guest now. We invite you on the balcony and we
Yep.
smoke and
Yep.
we drink and get you in the mood and drug use or whatever we do. And we did it with
Nah.
Ian. And he said to me, because I was talking about, I said to him, like, why are, I don't want to go off too much, but I was like, why are the people on your side like all closeted gay, like Nip Fuentes and stuff? Like, what, don't you think gays would be pro-Israel? And he laughed and he's like, yeah, I've noticed that too. And I was like, okay, he's smart. So then I said, what is this anti-Israel response to every kind of natural disaster, anything blame Israel? He said, it's definitely not organic. Even Ian Carroll knows. And then he was the one that started the Israel did Charlie Kirk. So he gave me a little insight, like, yeah, it's clearly not real. It's not grassroots.
Well, I think they say one thing in real life and then they play
Yeah,
their
when the
part.
camera
Yes.
came on, it was different.
They're
Yes.
paid. They're
Well,
all
I don't know.
paid.
I'm just saying, if Ian Carroll knows it's inorganic, Nick Fuentes went out and called them all, like Candace and Tucker, like, why are you blaming Israel? Nick Fuentes was after them.
That's right.
So even them on the right that we were scared of, or on the left, even they know
Israel
it's
must
bullshit.
have something on Nick Fuentes.
Well, he's a Fed, right? But I don't.
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't care who says
not
it.
organic, is all I'm
It's
saying.
what's being said,
Yeah.
and it's all
Right.
manufactured. But
Can I throw something out to you guys?
yeah.
Please.
Inorganic, right? So we're thinking like KGB or Muslim Brotherhood. Could it be? And we're gonna have this guy next. Could it be biblical?
of course, it's biblical.
Is that inorganic? If it's
No, it's God. God's doing it. You know, when they always say the chosen people,
will you bring your mic closer?
and
babe?
you know, when they always go off on a,
Tangent.
you know, the haters, they're like, oh, you call yourself the chosen people. Well, what chosen means in Torah is called to witness.
Yeah.
You're called to witness the Torah, the prophecies in Torah coming true. You're there to witness them coming true. That's what it means. And that's what we are. That's why we're here.
Yeah, we don't have like superpowers or anything. It's just like it's actually not fun to be chosen if you believe that.
I
stuff.
think
It's never
fun.
been fun to be chosen.
It's
to be
not.
honest.
I
I
think it's
actually
fun.
talked about that recently. Yeah.
It's funner than hell. I've said that everywhere. Being a Jew, there's nothing more fun than being a Jew.
I have a different
Something
experience.
happens and you go to Torah and you go, wait, I'll find it. Piece through it, go, there it is. That's what, that's,
I think there's a lot of merit to that.
All right.
There's a lot
it's
of
all
fucking
there.
merit to
And I
that.
go, hey, here it is. Okay, now I know why.
Yeah.
And I have to witness it. Okay, there's the stars aligning just like it says it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, God. You know, now what do I do? Oh, I know what to do, just like it tells me here to do.
Yeah.
I think
Witness.
I think most of it's envy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think most people are envious of the fact that like this.
That
very
we're always getting killed? I don't think so.
That we're like 5'5"
no, we're
and
getting
200
killed
pounds and have
because
asthma.
they're envious. They're not envious of us getting killed. The persecution
Yeah.
against because at the end of the day, if you want to look at also if we want to go to the Bible, like we still survive and we're still here, no matter what the attempt is, nuke not nuke, like we're still here. And I think there's a lot of
Well,
envy.
that is the thing.
That's what Thomas Sowell says.
Because it's like, hey, wait a minute.
Final
How
solution.
come their God's still around when our God's supposed to kill him? How come our God's supposed to be more powerful than their God, yet their God's still around? Hey, are we failures? Because our God's supposed to be more powerful than their God, but yet how come they're still around and seem to be making all the money? What are we failure? We are a humiliation to them because our God, you know, sorry to say it, our God is the real deal. And he is. He wrote all the stuff they're quoting too. They just don't see it right.
Can I throw out an alternative? I think people, because I know this, Thomas Sowell says this, it's envy, and there's probably some truth to it. But also, I ain't going to make you guys mad. But I think people.
They don't even know that our God is their God. That's how weird
well,
they are.
That is weird.
They
But I want to say is, I don't think a
They
lot of people
don't.
like Jews. I think we're annoying. I think we're annoying people, and I think we're kind of like we come across really irritating. And I think we have to own. I keep telling Jews this.
Are you
like,
kidding? We're charming and delightful.
not at all. We don't even like Jews.
think we're both.
No, it's both. But like we always go, oh, they're envious, and there's probably truth. But it's like we're also fucking annoying. We should own that a little. I just want to throw that out.
No,
there.
we are.
Thank you.
No, I mean, but where does the
We're
whole
horrible.
Well, we
We're
are.
horrible, neurotic.
wouldn't-
Like my
hang on.
grandson, he said to me, he goes, Granny, how come they hate us so bad? All we are is autistic and nerds.
Yeah.
Why do they hate autistic
Bad at
nerds so
sports
bad?
and whiny and always have asthma.
And I
shit.
said, listen, you got to look at it this way. I told my grandson, you got to look at it like this. After all we've been through, what are the odds that we end up autistic nerds in the age of cyber? That's how God made us, so that in the age of cyber, we would learn how to turn air into water. That's how God made us. So think about that. It is that.
I'd rather be good at sports, to be honest.
That
Huh?
we didn't receive that card.
No.
We didn't
You
receive-
did. Well,
You
you
did.
got hurt all the time.
Semi.
Well, there's
Yeah.
some Jews that are good at sports.
There are some Jews that are good at
Sandy
sports.
Koufax.
Yeah, you have to
I
go back
remember
like
my dad
70
saying
years.
that all the time when I was a little girl. Look at Sandy Koufax. He's a Jew and he's great.
Remember that scene in Airplane when he asked for the magazine?
My
to
dad
read?
loves this movie.
And he's like, "Do you have anything light reading?" And she's like, "How about famous
Jewish athletes?"
Jewish athletes. It's like a little pink pamphlet about this big. God, that movie's so funny. Anyway, End Times we were on. The Dragon's
we
Prophecy.
weren't.
Oh yeah, Jews being annoying. Sorry, there's champagne's
we
king.
were
By the way,
talking
so I think it's both.
Yeah,
I talk about the imperfections within the Jewish community a lot. I'm
Yeah.
also like the bad guy sometimes on social media because I'll call out some of the dumb fucking advocacy that we do. Sorry,
Yeah. No, it's true.
I hate liberal Jews fucking
Fuck
guts.
yeah. Let's
Michael
all-
Savage said it. I want him on here.
Yeah.
He goes, nobody hates the liberal Jews more than me. I go, I'll call you. I'll raise you $100 and call you on that or whatever you say.
we should all agree that the
I
Jews we
hate
hate are those.
liberal left-wing Jews.
They're the worst.
They are, oh my God, I'd love to see them elect Mondami and he comes in and
Well, most of
fucking
them are the
kicks
ones
their
who are
ass.
like shouting from the river to the sea too.
They
Like-
are.
Like it's insane.
I look at the Palestinian cause and it's all friggin' Jews without a Jewish mother.
Yeah.
I got a message last week on X from a girl who was at my middle school, 2007, who found me. I went into her profile. We both went to a private Jewish school. Depending on financial aid, it's 30, 40 a year.
Jeez.
This is real, legit. Like
Yeah.
her bio on Instagram is the Palestinian flag,
Oy.
3 of them. And this girl is genocidal against Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and she was raised in like a Jewish suburb of Boston.
Yep.
So
I think that's a lot of it. She talked about that at Occupy Wall Street. It was mostly the stockbrokers' kids out there. I think there's like a parental rebellion sickness.
It's a
to it.
lemming gene.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that's interesting
Yeah.
because I'm wondering
We all
how,
hate Jews. That's
how
on this podcast.
I mean, I love Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate
Leftist Jews.
capos and colluders.
Yeah. And Erev Rav. We hate them too. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No, I was like, I'm wondering though, because I always think about this too. All of these people have parents. What are their parents saying at dinner, at the holiday? What are they saying at the round table?
Yeah.
Because like some of their kids are the ones who are wrapping their heads in a keffiyeh
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
throwing stuff at Jewish students walking across their quad during break at Harvard Business School. Like,
Well, that comes from Genesis, where God told Moses, "Don't take out the Jews that work for the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Leave them; they can't change. They like slavery. They benefit from it. It's privilege from being part of the pharaonic system of slavery. Of course, you're going to advocate for that. You're never going to be for freedom of, the working people that build everything. You're always going to be against that. And God told Moses, don't take them out. They can't change. They are in privileged positions. They're not like the slaves that want to leave. And Moses is, it's a big argument. And anyway, those Jews are the reason Moses couldn't enter Zion.
They're the ones that built the golden calf, right?
Yes.
yeah.
And probably the ones that voted for Barabbas to be freed over Jesus.
Well, they're Kamala voters.
They
Can I,
really are.
You
Oh, sorry.
actually, can I show you guys something?
That's
Yes.
Torah, though.
That is Torah.
And, Jews, in the Bolshevik Revolution, the Marxist Jews, their number one target was religious Jews.
Yeah.
And a lot of Jews joined the Nazis, too. So,
Look at Soros.
it's way deeper. It's a Jewish civil war that spills out to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But, it's good that they all voted for a Palestinian state because the fact of it is 70 nations came against Israel. That's Gog and Magog. And that's a signpost of, and a harbinger of pretty soon it's Mashiach. The Christians say the return of Jesus, and Jews say the
Messiah.
Messianic age.
Yeah.
And either way, that's great.
And on the 27th of this month,
The Star of Jacob.
the Star of Jacob.
What
Or
is this?
Christians say the
Yeah,
Star of
can-
Bethlehem.
Can you explain this? Because is that the H1N1 asteroid or whatever it's called? A1?
Atlas 3-1.
Is that?
I
Can we
mean,
get in?
Atlas
Let's get into it.
3I.
Well, you had mentioned before that they were able to see that it's changing in speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it can
trajectory.
regulate its speed, and it has lights. And it shot a laser at the sun and burned a hole in it, and it's headed towards Mars, and they don't know what the hell it is.
I gotta look this up.
But
What's
it
it called
looks
again?
like it's intelligent and has
It's not a comet.
It's not a comet,
not a
but it's
comet.
accompanied by 7 comets, which the
3
Zohar sort of predicted about 2,000 years ago. So I think God's in charge of everything. He does everything for a reason. He uses people, even the ignorant, that look horrible. And we get to over and over, but we're not witnessing it correctly. We see the mighty laid low right in front of our eyes, and we go, oh, that's interesting. What's Kim Kardashian doing? We're not witnessing. We're not really seeing it, and we're not witnessing and testifying to the might of God on this planet. But pretty soon we all will see it.
I want to show both of you something.
Okay.
That it's going to require both of you to be a little bit open-minded.
I'm nothing but open-minded.
I'm too open.
It's not
if
not a
anything.
little bit, a lot of it.
Easy.
And maybe you can throw this. We'll do this later. Throw it on the screen
We'll
for
throw it
people to
on
be
the
watching.
screen
I
in
will turn.
post.
Yeah.
That's an edit note for me. Here,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
And I will turn the camera here so that both of you can see. So you just mentioned the story of why Moses was not allowed into the promised land.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And there's different interpretations
Yeah, there
about
is.
that. But essentially, God told Moses that you will not enter Zion, the promised land, and you will be watching it from afar. Now, I believe the English word is pareidolia, where it's essentially a phenomenon where you're looking at something, and if you look at it long enough, you can see something. That's the open-mindedness that I need both of you to
Yeah.
deploy
enough.
right now.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Google Maps. It's the satellite view, and anybody can do this. They can do this while we're watching. If you pull
right here.
over, can both of you see?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my computer.
Okay. So you go follow with me.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait till you're.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Don't wait for me.
If you pull over to Israel, so I'm gonna pan it to Roseanne. Then, if you pull over to Israel, and you zoom in, okay, you have Israel, Jordan on the right side. Underneath you have Egypt. Okay. Now all you're gonna do, I can't do it because I'm in like the Safari. Just turn it 90 degrees this way.
Oh gosh.
So can you turn it? Can you turn the screen on with your mouse?
No.
No. All right. So here we have Egypt, where Moses led the Israelites out for 40 years. And there's different interpretations of where exactly God split the sea. But you have here on the Sinai Peninsula, okay? You're with me?
Yes.
Israel's over here. If you zoom in on this part of the Sinai Peninsula,
Yeah.
you have here a shaded region.
Yeah.
Can you just take a minute and look at this region?
Will you show me? Yeah. Okay.
Look at this and tell me what you see for a second.
The whole peninsula area.
This is the peninsula, and now zoom in, and you have this darker region here. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit more for you, Roseanne. Maybe it's too far away. And focus on this part.
Well, it looks like Moses.
You see it, Jake?
No. No, you have to, I can't. I don't have Google Earth.
Focus on this part.
Yeah,
Do you see anything up here?
it looks like a man standing on top of a rock.
So we have here this like shaded part.
Yeah.
This shaded part. When we think of Moses, by the way, he's kind of like in a cloak, long white beard. If you zoom in over here, this is literally in the southern part of the Sinai Peninsula. You have an eye,
Yeah.
You have a
No.
mouth?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it. Whoa.
and hold on a second. If you zoom in all the way on the eye,
Holy shit.
you have
I'm also
what
high
we
right
would
now,
call
so-
as a pupil.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all three of us in the room, we have this here. This is, by the way, this is like desert region and is untouched. Like this has been this way since the and you have here Moses, and he's
Oh, so I
looking
was
in
right.
he's looking in this direction. And if you actually took a ruler, I don't have it, but if you took a ruler and you laid it flat and you just followed his eyesight,
Whoa.
his eyesight
Yeah.
goes a direct line to Jerusalem.
Yeah. It sure does.
Now, there are different interpretations as to where God split the sea.
Yeah.
But right behind him is one, like there are people who do believe it was either here in the Gulf of Suez or the Gulf of Aqaba. It just depends on like which interpretation you're looking at. But the idea is that here the sea was split. Moses was not granted permission to go into the Holy Land, but God said that he will always be watching over. And this is here. Anybody on their phone can pull this up.
Yeah.
Now, it takes a little bit of like some open-mindedness to be able to see this. I actually had a friend, she showed me this. I started doing some research. There's not a lot. There's one rabbi who covers this exact phenomenon. And to me, like, I think of it as like the world is the garden. We talked about this outside.
Right.
Like we have the garden. This is just like another piece to the truth of Judaism because, I don't know, like...
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty insane when I first saw it because you have to realize that it just goes with the story of Exodus and it goes with the story of being persecuted by the Pharaoh over here and going towards the promised land.
That's pretty cool stuff. Why was he
That's
not allowed
cool.
in the promised land? What's the different interpretation?
Because he hit the rock out of anger instead of speaking to it softly. He didn't have self-control.
Well, yeah,
After all he was supposed to be a master of, he lost his self-control.
He killed somebody. Who cares?
Well,
He did that way before.
No,
yeah,
I mean, he was
like,
awesome.
He was leading them through for 40
I don't
years.
say that as a bad judgment. I'm saying clearly he was a guy that was angry. And it was awesome. There's no reason to make it look like it's a bad thing.
But he did it right after God told him to talk softly to the rock.
To the rock, so that
water
water would
would
split
come
out.
out. So he's like, "Damn it!" And he hit it, and that's like he lost control of his supernal connection to God.
There's a region. I watched the video. There's a region in part of the region. I think
That's fantastic. Thank you for showing me that.
Of course, yeah, and we'll look at it again like offline,
Okay.
so we're not in the middle of it. But there's a region. I'll send you this video. This blew my mind. Okay, east of that, where we believe Mount Sinai is today. By the way, the Saudi government will not allow
we know that.
archaeologists go. There was an individual who actually did get permission to not actually do deep archaeological research, but he was there, and they had drone footage. He found 2 miles away, about a mile and a half away from where they believe Mount Sinai is, this 50-foot tall structure.
I saw that.
Oh, you
haven't
saw
seen
this?
this. Yeah.
Where the rock is split
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
down.
Wow.
And they looked at the gravel underneath, and they basically identified some of the texture of the rock that is there. And based on the amount of water that came out of the rock after Moses struck it twice, the texture of the gravel at the bottom part where your feet would be is going to be like the solidification of it is going to be a little bit different. And they have ways to maybe track that. Like there were like incredibly large amounts of water around this region of where they're standing. And when you go to, if you're walking through like a large desert region or you're walking through like a large archaeological site, you'll see these tall structures. And as a human, you say to yourself, that looks like something. We have the big crater in southern Israel. Like you can tell that was a site of a crater. This is one of those sites where as humans you go, and he talks about it in the video, this looks like something.
Yeah.
Right? And God, after they praised the golden calf and everything, God actually ended up killing a lot of the people who did praise it. And a couple miles away from this site, they found little rocks, over 1,000 of them, that are just this tall, scattered, that kind of look like graves, where they possibly believe like those were some of the people that were killed. And I don't know how religious you have to get, but like when you go and you see it firsthand, and the Saudi government not allowing people to go and see it, I think is quite interesting.
That is very telling.
Well, it's in their interest to cover all of Jewish history and all of biblical archaeology, which that's their whole thing. Since we've been fighting with Rome for 2,000 years over it, to cover over and with the Arabs, when Jews do archaeology in Jerusalem, they take a toothbrush
Yeah.
and very carefully brush away the dirt to look for, evidence of, King David and all this. Because they found a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But the Arabs just took a bulldozer in there.
Yeah.
They don't care because, it is in their interest in just to destroy,
To wipe it off. Yeah.
to wipe it out, to wipe off Jewish history, Jewish memory, truth.
That's why Chrislam shit makes me crazy.
Well,
Because
that's
it's
their
like, why
goal.
would you
UN
support?
Agenda 30, the one world.
What is this? I didn't hear that.
It's
Chrislam.
UN Agenda 30, one world religion. That's of the UN. And Chrislam is what it's called, which is the destruction of Christianity and Judaism.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would
And
they do
it's
that?
called Chrislam, which was pioneered in Jeremiah Wright's church that Obama was, it's a psyop. And that's what's sweeping America right now,
Yeah.
Chrislam.
Well, we're seeing it literally unfold in the Middle East.
Yeah.
As we speak, since we've been in this podcast, Christian ethnic minorities in southern Syria
Yeah.
were slaughtered.
Yeah, they're
You know what I
they're
mean?
slaughtering all the Christians, but it's funny how to see Tucker Carlson.
And Candace.
Well, I don't even talk
Yeah,
about her
yeah,
anymore
okay,
because
yeah.
it's
She's too far
obvious.
gone. Yeah.
But to see Tucker Carlson at TPUSA
At a funeral.
at a funeral with no casket.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Memorial.
talking about Christianity,
It's awkward.
and it's Chrislam that he's talking
Yeah.
about. A Christianity that has no Jewish history, no Jewish source, no Jewish context. That isn't Christianity.
Well, you said something so brilliant last week. I've been wanting to say this. I've been waiting to record.
What?
I'm a defender of Tucker, although it's waning, but I love Tucker. Not anymore.
We'll
but-
always love the old Tucker.
Yeah, but I was telling Mom, like, hey, he's a libertarian. He does stuff. And she's like, I go, he doesn't think the Jewish people of the modern state of Israel are the same as the Jewish people in the Bible. He's been very clear about it. If you watched the interview with Ted Cruz, he's like,
He always
is
says
that Bibi
They're not the
Netanyahu's?
same Jews.
So she said as a joke, she's like, fine, then stop blaming us for killing Christ then. And I was like,
We're not
that's
the same
brilliant.
Jews that killed Christ then.
Right?
Great.
So there was this break, and I was like, oh, we'll do that on the show. But then Tucker
That's great.
goes on the memorial of Charlie Kirk, and he's like, they're around eating hummus, and they decided to kill Jesus. So how can a guy who said his dad was not CIA, caught lying about it, and then say, these are not the same Jews, but then blame the Jews for killing Christ? Literally 3 days apart. Clearly he is not organic himself. He's not telling the truth, and you can catch him in it. Did the Jews
That's
kill
really
Christ or
interesting.
not, Tucker? Right?
very
So
interesting.
he's full of shit. And that means maybe
they
he's under
love
control.
to say we killed our own, like they love to say we asked for rape. But we
Well, maybe we did. I mean, I don't know.
no, we didn't. But Jesus is ours. Sorry, he wasn't a Christian.
Yeah.
Get over yourself. Jesus was a Jew.
He was.
He's
Proud
a Jew
Jew.
just like me.
Yeah.
He sat there and goes, "Get over yourself. You're hanging out with the Romans and do what they say.
Yeah.
Fuck off." That's what he said.
And Tucker
practiced-
was right. He did say that Jesus stood up to the powers that be and
yeah,
called
so
them
do
out.
I.
Yeah.
He got canceled. End of story.
Yeah, he got canceled for standing up. So, yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, but I like even for Candace, for example, it's a massive opportunity for her to. I was just telling you,
That wall-eyed bitch.
We don't even get angry at it. Her time's done.
Yeah, maybe
she
we
blew it.
won't bring her up
No,
then.
we can. I think it's funny
No,
to
we
watch.
can't. She's a wall-eyed bitch.
I just like
Looks
yesterday.
like a damn goat.
Stop comparing black women to animals. You got in trouble
Oh
already.
yeah, I'm already in
can't
trouble.
I was walking.
I thought the bitch was white.
All right, sorry.
I was walking. It's so good. I was walking down 6th Street yesterday in Austin, and I saw a group of 4. I would call them college-age students, watching Candace on their iPhones in the street, like eating McDonald's. And
He said they had pink hair. I go, was
One
they
had
obese?
pink, one had-
He said they wasn't obese.
No, but they're libs.
that's their reality. Their news is coming. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, the convergence of liberals and
So,
woke right, woke left. That's why we call them the woke right. They're the same as the woke club.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That
No,
liberals are
I
listening
to see it in
this.
real time too, because
Yeah.
I'm like on YouTube all the time talking about how people are getting brainwashed, and I take my first couple steps into Austin, Texas. Never been here to Texas before, and I'm hearing her voice while they're throwing down McNuggets, and they're just
Yeah.
and they're
Bill Gates fetus meat. That's what that shit is. It is. He gets it from Hillary Clinton's fucking fetus thing in the Ukraine.
Well, I don't want to call anyone out in my family, but there have been people very close to me, is all I'll say, that have been right about a lot of the shit. They were right about COVID. They were right about election fraud. And I got a couple calls last week. They're like, can't believe fucking Israel killed Charlie Kirk. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
it
that's-
do?
Yeah, the next
And then I
20
started
minutes later
arguing.
after he died.
Yeah. But these are like conservative right-wing people they're awake, and they're like, and I'm like, what are you
I
talking
got
about?
news
And
for
like,
their
well, Candace
ass.
will figure it out.
I'm starting to get drunk. Give me some more booze.
Yeah.
you were talking outside about this concept of when you're in the light, you can see the dark, but when you're in the dark, you can't see the light. And that there's this incredible, there's too many people who are living in the dark. The world, right?
Yeah.
The world is living in the dark. The amount of propaganda, the amount of lies, the amount of fear, et cetera, et cetera.
The dark is lies.
The dark is violence and death and fear and shame and humility and lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not humility, but arrogance.
Yeah. Yeah, not humility, excuse me. Yeah, arrogance.
And the light is
Well, humiliation actually could be.
self-accountability, because of what Torah is about is taking accountability and growing your soul. That's what you're supposed to learn from it, is to grow your soul to get closer to God. Take accountability, confession, repentance. That's how you grow closer to God. You certainly don't grow closer to God by lying, shouting, condemning, being a mean asshole. That don't bring you closer to truth.
I brought this page here. I wanted to
What's
show to
that?
both of you.
I want to see it.
I think you'll really like it, Jake. I also think
Well, I
you're really
can't
gonna
see a
like
damn
this.
thing, so I go
No,
like this.
I'm gonna.
Oh, map of consciousness. That looks cool.
Have you come across this before? Does the name David Hawkins mean anything to you?
Yeah, I
I've heard
kind of
it.
like him.
Yeah.
He's kind of good.
He studied a lot, energy and consciousness frequency psychologist, and he actually has this concept of the map of consciousness, which actually he spent 10 years studying and using mathematical equations to
I love that.
measure frequency,
Oh, I love frequency.
to measure frequency in the world.
Uh-huh.
So I think this is going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
So we have here the different levels of consciousness, and around this midpoint, these are where people operate, human beings operate on a day-to-day basis. You have each person in this room, you, me, and you, we all have our own level of consciousness. And as humans, we are all contributing to the collective consciousness
Right.
of society.
Yeah, because
Right.
we're all connected.
Because we're all connected. The world is energy. You know this.
Yes.
So this map of consciousness, which David drew up, here in the middle, you have this yellow zone, and some of the different things that come along with would be pride, affirmation, empowerment. It's not up here would be monks and Buddhists and people who have really achieved a lot of bliss in love
Bliss and love.
and eternal love. And down here, you have shame, you
Yeah.
have humiliation, elimination. This is death, low frequency, high frequency. And these frequencies change all of the time. This room has a frequency. Austin, Texas, yesterday for me had a frequency. When I cried at the Western Wall, that was a frequency. And what we're at right now with the world is our frequency. This is why you said outside that things are so dark. Our frequency is, as a collective in the world is so dark and so low. We're seeing people from the bottom basically raising their hand and saying, fuck this, I've had enough of these systems and these processes and these governments, and everything's flipped. Like, people are rioting in the streets, people are fighting, people are killing. That's why we have wars. That's why we have ICE. That's why we have COVID. Like, all these things, everything is fucked up. That's the state of the union right now, and we've been feeling that.
These people that are doing the low chakra stuff, this is not in their defense, but it's an explanation. They're getting paid to do it.
Yeah. Or they're possessed.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about they're getting paid from, the billionaire class that needs them as street, like brown shirts, to keep their power, which is, robbing the poor to give to the rich, reverse Robin Hood. And which made me so mad when I was a socialist and when I ran for president as a socialist, I'm like, you got the money to pay them to, fight and die and go to prison. Why can't you give them decent jobs? You got the money. Give them jobs with a future. Why are you not doing that? You care so much for working people. And when you're desperate, and that's the only job you got, so I think it's a different thing than just a low vibration. It's slavery. It's slavery to Pharaoh. And the pharaohs are the billionaires and all them. It's a different thing. I mean, they don't just have low vibration. They have no hope, and they're slaves.
Yeah.
And they're manipulated and brainwashed. So I think that if they had the choice and go, which would you rather have? This life of slavery or another life to build and, reach a joyous place? All of them would choose that. The trick they use is this victim mentality that they foist on these people that they themselves are oppressing, saying you're a victim who needs to fight, not us, but the Jews or whoever. But victim mentality in Judaism is the worst satanic thing that you can do because it alleviates self responsibility for anything you do, because you're like, I was just following orders and I'm trying to, I was just following orders. And it's also like, I have to fight because I'm a victim. But victimology is, in Judaism, is another word for Satan. If you feel that you're a victim, then you feel like by any means necessary.
Yeah.
But you're not a victim. You're on a path to growth.
Yeah.
And so it's all artificial intelligence that's foisted on people who need another way and need to see another way of like, hey, you're on a path and it's a ladder and you're going to climb up. And at the top, when you overcome this and this and this, there's joy and a higher vibration to live in. And there's a ton of people who've already done it and they're willing to help you climb up. That's a different reality and a different politic than this bullshit they've got everybody under.
I think, by the way, I don't disagree with you. Like, I think that there are people who are being paid to operate in that lower frequency. There's definitely something to be said about like,
or they're addicted or blackmailed into it.
Yeah. Brainwash is probably the easiest way to describe it. When you take a child who's born in the Gaza Strip, they're brainwashed, and that's it.
From day one.
From breath one. Now, I do think that there's some ancestral consciousness that plays a part into that.
Yeah.
But there's also people like Masab Hassan Youssef, whose father co-founded Hamas, who clearly his consciousness is at a higher frequency than his neighbors.
Yeah.
Because look at what he's done.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's been an incredibly important person to rely on and hear from because his father co-founded what we've seen. So I think it all starts though by empathy. And
that's exactly right. The victims don't have empathy.
of course they don't.
No, they don't.
And when we are,
I mean, somebody who describes himself as a victim, it's just it's just quicksand in a void. Me. It's big ego.
You're saying people that attach to victim mentality, not victims.
Yeah,
Yes.
that identify as a victim. They have no empathy.
Yeah, that is true.
They're like, she's rich. I don't give a fuck if she has suffering with cancer. There's no empathy.
no empathy. And now we're in a world where we're asking in this Israel-Palestine thing to have empathy for the other side. Like, how do you not have empathy for, but they don't even have empathy for themselves.
Right.
Those people don't even have empathy for themselves.
Right.
And that's why, and they don't have empathy for themselves because they operate at such a low frequency. You go to
Well, because they're slaves.
yeah.
They're slaves of Pharaoh.
You don't think there's a part of it that's demonic possession? And I only say that because in this, I keep holding up this book.
Yes.
Dinesh D'Souza has a new movie. He's based off this book. I've seen it. He's coming on here soon. There's actually a Hamas terrorist interviewed in it. And it was during the Israeli officers were interviewing. But he says, and it's kind of sticks out to me a lot. He's like, I went in there, I saw him, and then he said, and then the devil took over. And I raped and I killed or whatever. He doesn't say I did it. He says the devil took over, and it's stuck with me now for like a week and a half since I've seen it. That's to me, it's pretty clearly demonic, and not just Hamas, but just the Charlie Kirk assassination or a lot of stuff that we've lived. That COVID, fucking election fraud of 2020. There's a lot of times where you're like, this isn't organic. I keep saying, or this feels evil. Like I don't think we should keep. Not that you're doing this, but I don't think we should, as a people anymore, just sort of cast off this idea that maybe evil is real and powerful, because every day it presents and shows itself more and more to the point where I think we're all, if we're all honest, we're all seeing it. Evil is here, and evil is in control. You call it low consciousness, you call it victim mentality. I call it fucking demonic possessions directly from Satan, but it's here. And maybe Hamas, maybe they're fucking...
Well, it
because
is the
they're trauma
darkness.
based. Maybe they're
It
under
is the darkness,
demonic
and
control.
there are agents of darkness in this
Tucker
world.
says famously that he, a demon met him in the middle of the night and beat his ass, and he asked him to leave, but maybe that demon didn't leave. I saw
I
somewhere
told
today.
you that I think he is possessed.
I think he is too. And I think
I feel
end times are
sorry
coming.
for him because,
He's too smart.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that's
right?
who they go after.
He
is
is
the
smart. That's the thing.
yeah. No,
They don't want dumb people.
I've been crafting a text to Tucker. I haven't done it for 7 months, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna send it. He won't respond.
Everybody should read in the Bible about Belak and Bilam.
Yeah, I have
Because
read
that's
that.
what this is about. It is about that.
I have read that. With the donkey, you sent it to me. I looked into it. It's fascinating. You might be onto something.
I told you.
I'm reading a book right now.
What?
Called, I believe it's called Keepers of the Garden. And it's
Sounds good.
It's a past life regressionist who talks about some of her work and did regressions with
What's her name? Oh, you don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to give it to you after.
Okay.
I just had it on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me through the conversation.
Okay.
She's working. She writes about this guy named Phil, who she wasn't intentionally supposed to work with. She was going to go see someone else. She got to the house. Anyways, she starts working with this guy named Phil, who once he enters, and she uses the analogy of like an elevator. It's one way to, like, in regressions, to get somebody into that state. So when the elevator doors open, you can talk about what you're seeing. And on like the third or fourth time they were working together, he entered this new regressional state where she got him for months at that point to talk about what life was like for him previously, not on Earth. Meaning what civilization and life outside of Earth is like in terms of society, in terms of dress code, in terms of morals, in terms of all these things.
Where was he living?
On another planet.
Really?
Yeah. Stuff Darius talks about. We move that closer.
No, on another planet. Now, we've seen footage over the past few years randomly of somebody in Nebraska, somebody in Toronto filming some UFO, something in
all
the
that.
sky.
Uh-huh.
Like, really interestingly enough, the 27th of this month, and what right now they're describing as this like
Atlas 3I.
Atlas 3I that's changing speeds. I look at what's going on because of where we are from a frequency standpoint, and that we need to be entering. We kind of need a new Earth at this point.
Yeah.
I really do think that people like Heather, who she tells me that, and she's also had regressions herself, but she's also had interactions with what she calls aliens, like moments and communication. Like, she describes this. She writes about it. She has a whole book about this.
Wow.
And she, for sure, has gotten me to think more broadly about not just the frequency and where we are is like from a consciousness perspective, but that like there are outsiders who are looking at us right now saying,
yeah.
the fuck you guys are doing? Like, this shit's not working. And that's
Yeah.
what we're experiencing right now. A UFO randomly on all these people's iPhones going at these speeds. And when you look at the regressions book and when he's talking, he's describing these ships, these spaceships and these speeds as the same thing that we would describe what we think is a spaceship that goes at these speeds that we can't fathom. And even what an alien looks like real extraterrestrial beings that
They all look like Dave Chappelle. They do. That's what I thought.
So I mean, I actually do think that we're going through we're going to have a new Earth when we come out of this. And the only way to get there, unfortunately, is through an incredible amount of bloodshed and destruction. And we're living through the thick of it right now. Astrology also says that 2005, 2026 there's a lot more. And that's
there's two ways to learn according to Torah. There's learning through pain and suffering, or learning from elevation and joy. But, I guess you got your choice.
Yeah.
that's what free will is.
Yeah, that is what free will is. But I've always felt like an alien. I knew I was from another planet when I was 3 years old. And I've never felt like
How'd
that.
you know?
I don't know. I just knew I'm not from here.
Sure.
I ain't like these folk. I was looking at my family like, hell no. I ain't like them.
Have you done plant medicine?
You mean like take ayahuasca?
Sure.
No, I want to, but I did do mushrooms one time.
You did a journey.
Huh?
You did a journey, like a mushroom journey.
No, I just took them with my girlfriend Shannon. And
Why not?
she's always telling me to do it. And I never did any hallucinogenics. But this one time she had them, and I go, hell yeah, I'll do them, And what was I, in my 50s, I guess. I never did any of them drugs. And, there we was in Hilo, Hawaii, and I took them. We were in a volcano forest, which has since been washed away by the last volcano there. But I got to see this volcano forest, which was magical and a miracle place. These trees covered in lava and stuff growing in them like you'd never seen. And I took them, and it was all 3D and everything. And then we went into town, and I saw they had this hippie store in there, and I was looking at this Buddha, and it turned all 3D. And I was like, wow, that Buddha's all 3D and all. And that's about the gist of it.
Your consciousness was raised.
Well, I just saw a 3D Buddha, and I thought that was rad. And then I got in the car, and I drove home 7 hours. And I never shut up. Shannon said I never shut up for 7 hours. And I was just spitting out jokes for 7 hours.
Wait a minute, 7 hours in Hawaii?
Hawaii?
What
Well,
takes
what
7
was
hours?
it, 4 hours
Oh,
from...
okay.
I was thinking.
No, I guess it was 4
You
hours.
were lost on mushrooms.
But I'm like,
It's like drove a mile
I'm
for
like,
7 hours.
damn, why didn't I get a tape recorder? Shannon said they were the best jokes. But
Damn.
I'm into spit out jokes for 4 solid hours.
Yeah.
That's a
I
lot.
don't remember any
Of them. Yeah. The
That was it.
the woman, so Heather, she talks about plant medicine too in her journey of raising consciousness, not just hers, but also a lot of the people that she works with. And it's really opened my mind to.
Have you
Have
ever
you
done it?
did it?
I'm flying tomorrow to Los Angeles for.
Are you going to
2
do
reasons.
it over there?
The
Hell
first,
yeah,
You're
ayahuasca?
doing the
I am not doing.
ayahuasca?
No. That would be diving into the ocean without any instruction.
You're doing mushrooms.
I'm doing a mushroom journey
That's smart.
for the first time ever.
Yeah, you should do
with
that.
her.
Yeah.
It's fully guided. I'm doing a full Reiki treatment. And she also has a healing partner who does like touch healing energy, and I'm going to be doing it with them. And the idea, the reason I'm personally doing it, one, is because I just think that every human being should be doing some form of inner work to elevate.
Yeah, it's all about the inner work.
all about the inner work.
alchemy.
Yeah.
Changing your negative into positive.
Yeah.
That's what Torah's all about. Nobody
That'll be
knows
fun.
that, though.
No one.
I know.
They're like, oh, how can I condemn somebody else?
Yeah,
Fucking ridiculous.
that's such a good
So
point.
stupid.
Yeah, if you didn't forget, today blame the Jews, just in case.
Yeah, but it's a new year tonight. The new year, I forget, it was 57, whatever. But, oh, hell yeah, It's
Shana
just great.
Tova, right? We recorded this on right
Shana
before Rosh
Tova.
Hashanah.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
It's going to be the best year ever.
I hope we get close to that mic before we wrap up.
This is going to be the best year we've ever had. And,
Give us a prediction because we're going to timestamp this and we'll
well,
check it in
you
here
know,
if we're
people
still
are
here.
saying it's the end. And what do they say? The end of the world.
It's
and
the
shit.
end times.
End times
I
and
think
that.
so.
But that's all some foreground. You know, there's foreground and background. But in the deep, deep background, what it says there in Torah is it's the end of the evil. And so I want everybody to hear me say that. This is the end of and the crumbling of the whole Babylonian BS, the whole Babylonian pyramid of BS, and it's the beginning of the golden age.
I hope,
And
I hope
this
so.
year, oh hell yeah, the Messiah's coming or coming back if you're Christian or what have you. It's the beginning of empathy, sympathy. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. 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 Sympathy and understanding.
Do you know the
Harmony
song?
and joy
I was just about to say, am I too young for
abounding.
this?
I guess so.
No more false or
feel bad.
derision, moving crystal revelation,
It's a 60s
and
hippie
the
song.
mind's
60s?
true
I think so.
liberation. Aquarius.
The song Age of Aquarius was released in 1967. The
1967.
When they were all on mushrooms. That's where that
No,
song came from.
in that movie or whatever.
LSD.
But it is the age of Aquarius, the higher mind and quintessence, where the spiritual truth of everything in everybody comes to the top. Cream rises to the top, and yeah, that is that.
That's what you're describing.
That is what
That's
I'm
it.
describing.
You realize that? That's,
Yeah, 57 megahertz. Yeah, bitches, let's get this done. So you see, thank you for being here.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me. This
Good.
is
Was that fun or what?
Happy New
I have
Year.
to be honest. I know that we're like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I have to say, I'm still sitting here,
Yeah.
and I cannot comprehend that I'm sitting with both of you.
Oh, thank you. You mean me
Well,
specifically.
you better
With both of you?
comprehend it,
I know.
bitches.
He's starstruck by me, I can tell.
Oh, I wanted to show that. We'll show that video where you when
Oh, yeah,
I
show that
called
real
in.
quick.
Where I
I
called
think you
in,
have to see this.
Yeah,
Please
we
make
do.
sure.
Yeah, no, play it right now and then we'll wrap
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I mean, she's saying the theme song.
And then
this
I'll
is great.
sing the team song.
Yeah.
We'll probably clip this. This is basically.
It's a cute moment.
This is a very cute moment.
I
Oh,
don't
wait,
even
you had a-
remember it.
Man bun, I can't talk to
This
you.
was. I'm gonna give a little bit of
No,
context
that's-
before I press play.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, is that a man bun? Because that's a problem.
No, that's his.
Not a man, but that's my
furniture.
Jufro. Same
No,
difference.
up here.
Oh, that's my luggage
Oh, thank you.
in my nice little
All
studio.
right, I'll listen now. I wasn't going to listen to you if I thought it was a man bun. I'll talk to man buns.
That's very good. June 7th, 2024. I'm streaming inside of my apartment. I'm talking about Brianna Walker, I believe. I forget who, just some idiot on the internet talking about Israel and Jews, whatever. And on YouTube, when you're streaming, you can super chat people, which means you give them a contribution.
Yeah.
The most I'd ever gotten at this point, I think, was like $20 or $30. This is the moment that Granny Rose, who was unidentified, popped into my live stream on YouTube. I have a hard time like processing numbers like that.
How much of my inheritance did you give him exactly?
Lucky he walked away.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? What? You dropped $500.
Dang.
I wish you had sent that off. You dropped $500.
Oh, I did.
You
You must
Oh,
have
I
been
love
drunk.
doing that to youthful tubers.
youthful tubers.
Whatever you call it.
I never ever.
That's
like
amazing.
you dropped me $500.
You didn't know who it was.
Story gets better.
Oh.
So on YouTube, like you have a username and it just said Granny Rose.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not gonna let it play because it's another 3 or 4 minutes where I just keep saying what the fuck. I mean, I blacked
That's
out.
pretty cool,
and
Mom.
I literally out loud,
Goodness.
I was like, I said in the chat, I was like, humans, help me identify who the fuck Granny Rose is right now. And I said, whoever you are in the world, please send me an email. Just please send me an email. The stream ended. You emailed me right after in capital letters, hi, it's Roseanne Barr. I freaked. I was like, Granny, I was like, that's her. And that was how this started. And now I'm sitting in your podcast. That was the moment you dropped $500. So I need to say toda rabba and say thank you, because that was the most generous thing. And also, that was you. I didn't think it was you. I was like, there's no way it was you.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
That's awesome.
You're a consciousness raiser. And I love you for it.
I love you.
I'm going to
And
need
I
that
love you.
$500 back.
So
I'm
you
Jewish.
see, my patience is running thin in this synthetic world we're living in.